This is just one scenario, but you've never been to court. For somebody like me, who's usually in and out of court, you can expect to learn the proper language in court, proper etiquette, how to build relationships with the court staff, how to address either the justice of the peace or either the presiding justice, and then you can also figure out the proper procedures that are to be followed in court.
Just to maybe sometimes even just touch base with someone who may have experienced the same challenges and so forth. I love sharing my knowledge. I love working with people. I really get a lot of satisfaction out of being a coach, but I also I've learned that I also learn from my peer who I'm working with.
From a coaching perspective, it's very exciting, challenging, and it's a great opportunity. There's a lot of positive energy that comes out of having that journey of discovery with a peer who's probably working through a situation that you might have had before, or even a new problem that in your area that you've not really confronted head on. And from a peer perspective, it's a great way to connect to some of the more senior members. So certainly there's a good opportunity to speak with people who are actually paralegals and have a valuable point of view that you might not have had in assessing your issue. So I think there's a lot of positive things that can come out from both sides.
As a coach, I can guide individuals towards the right steps they need to take so that they can achieve what they want to do. Now you also need to determine the fact if you want to, you need to pick a particular area of law which you want to practice in, and then you also need to pick a region which you want to practice in, and then you also need to take into account if you have any competitors who are in the same area, and what are you going to do that's different than them so that you can provide an exceptional service.
I get a lot of calls about paralegals who want to open new practices up themselves, and you're right, it's a great idea. I want to open my own practice, but there are so many things that you need to think of before you get there. Having a niche, having something specific that you want to concentrate on can really separate you from the rest of the group. There are a whole bunch of different things that you need to do to be able to open your practice up successfully. The other really important thing besides finding that niche is to ensure that you market yourself.
CAN is a great program to start helping kind of converse with people and find out what's going on in your practice. But I find people come to me with a very large or a goal that is very broad. So say, I want to open my own practice, and their goal is to have their own practice opened. Well, there's a bunch of little goals you're going to have to come to before you can get to that big goal, right? So we just help to refine your goals, take a step by step. What do you want to do in the next 6 months? What do you want to do in the next 2 years? What do you want to do in the next 5 years? Help you refine those goals and kind of work through them like that as well. So a lot of people come with what they think they have their goal, but they don't, we need to just refine that a little bit. And you'll find coaches will help you determine what those goals are and guide you a little bit along the way.